Hey, I'm your host, Jen Wheeler, and this is the Healthy Her podcast. I'm a teacher, author, and foodie who went from being addicted to sugar, skipping meals, and struggling to get in control of my eating to someone who is 10 kilos down, eats all the yummy foods without restriction, and is finally in control of my hunger. I'm obsessed with helping other health-conscious women ditch the confusion and overwhelm so they can cultivate healthy eating habits and truly thrive. The Healthy Her podcast was created to give you real talk about healthy eating, as well as easy, actionable tips that fit seamlessly into your busy lifestyle. I'm not just your host. Think of me as your healthy eating hype gal, your personal cheerleader as we chat all things healthy eating, weight loss, and mindset mastery so you can become the healthiest, happiest version of you. So if you're ready to ditch the guilt, reclaim your confidence, and unlock the very best version of you, then you're in the right place. So let's get started. Hello, and welcome to an episode of the Healthy Her podcast. First up, I just want to say a massive thank you to all of our new followers and subscribers and for all of your amazing 5-star reviews. I'm honestly so grateful. When I started this podcast, I knew that I just had to help women more, and it just makes me so happy that the podcast and the topics that I discuss are resonating with you all so much, and that I can really start to break down those misunderstandings and those misconceptions that we have around food and healthy eating and weight loss. So it just makes me super happy that I get to do that, and I get to be in your ears and share all of my knowledge with you. Now, in today's episode, we are going to be talking about the 2 Ps that are blocking your weight loss and healthy eating momentum. We are going to be talking about the 2 big Ps that are most likely keeping you stuck and that are most likely keeping you in that start, stop, on, off dieting cycle. The one where you sign up for a new program or a new diet, or you say to yourself, right, that's it, I'm going to start eating healthy. You start eating healthy on a Monday, usually pretty good for, say, 3 days perhaps. You might even be able to push through until Friday, and then everything starts to fall apart. Life gets busy and you can't do it that well anymore, so you quit. So I'm sure many of you can relate to that scenario. So we're going to talk about why that happens and what you can do about it so you can get yourself unstuck and you can really start to shift your mindset around healthy eating and food. Because I'm going to be super honest with you, and I had to learn this firsthand myself, is that you can have the best meal plan and the best recipes and the best intentions and the best feelings about wanting to try hard and work hard and those things. But if you don't address and work on your mindset and the limiting beliefs that you have around food and nutrition and exercise and fitness and all of those things, you will find it very difficult to make not only weight loss progress, but you'll also find it very difficult to make healthy eating a consistent part of your everyday lifestyle. So it is something that's not talked about enough, and it is really important as women that we work on our mindset around food, because 90% of the time, that's the part that actually holds us back, because we do have long held beliefs that we have developed over many years. And it's until we start looking at those beliefs around food and nutrition that we can really start to unpack where we might have been going wrong and way that we've been viewing things differently, and to take on a new mindset and a new sort of belief system about how we view food and about how we go about weight loss and healthy eating for the long term. Okay, let's get stuck into our first P for today. So the first P that I want to talk to you about today that is blocking your weight loss momentum is perfectionism. Now, this can come in many forms, and I really want to break this down for you and pull it apart so that by the end of this episode, you have a really good understanding of how your perfectionism is keeping you stuck. As I mentioned a few minutes ago, I talked about the example of where you decide to eat healthy, you join a new program and the motivation's really high and you start off really good and you eat well and you're doing your workouts and you're feeling good and stuff, and then your kid gets sick, or you have to stay late at work and you can't put a healthy meal on the table, And so you start to slowly, over the next couple of days, your intentions and everything and your efforts slowly start to unravel. And then come, say, Friday, you go, I didn't do that right. So I'm going to quit now and I'll start again next week or in a month or in 3 months' time or when I'm not so busy at work. Your perfectionism is keeping you stuck. Now, as women, I guess when I was planning out this episode, I was trying to work out where this need for perfectionism has come from. So, as women, we believe that in order to eat healthy consistently, or to say that I'm a healthy eating girl or I'm a healthy eater, that it must mean that we have to eat healthy perfectly 100% of the time. And that's just not the case. And I was trying to think to how and why that as women, maybe we have formed this belief around food. And I definitely think that a lot of it has to do with what is shown to us in the media, on TV, in movies, also in social media, because everything around healthy eating and weight loss that we are shown in the media is all about being perfect. What's the perfect girl in her perfect activewear, in her perfect gym session, or it's the perfect day of eating that we see on Instagram or TikTok, the perfect full day of eating. Or the other big one that I think has a significant involvement in this is the healthy eating and weight loss challenges, because healthy eating weight loss challenges are all set at 4 weeks, at 6 weeks, or 8 weeks. And what that does is it sets this message to our brain that I do it perfectly. So I sign up for the challenge and I do it perfectly for the 6 weeks. I start on day one, I do it perfectly for 6 weeks. And then after that, I don't do anything else. And again, that's where that perfection mindset has come from. And that's why, as women, we just get stuck all the time because we believe that if I can't do every single day of my healthy eating meal plan perfectly, then I may as well not do it at all. And the reality is that eating perfectly is not realistic for today's busy modern woman. It's just not. We are juggling so many more things. We have so many more roles and responsibilities in our everyday life. So to do everything perfectly is just not reality. And it is one significant thing that is keeping you stuck. Like another thing with perfectionism, so it's not just around perfectionism with regards to following your meal plan perfectly or doing all of your workouts every day for a week and everything being perfect and you enjoying everything. And it's not just that part of the perfectionism that's keeping you stuck, it's waiting for the perfect day to start. Are you guilty of that? Where you say, oh, I'll eat healthy. I'll start next Tuesday because that's a better day for me because I don't have as much on and I get to leave work early and the kids don't have football practice. So, yeah, I'll start then. Waiting for the perfect day to start. There's your perfectionism coming through again. Another one, waiting for the perfect time of the year to start. So you'll say, oh, no, I'll start next month because those projects at work will have been completed. So I won't be as busy. Or I'll start then because it's after our holiday, waiting for the perfect day, waiting for the perfect time of the year. Like there is no perfect anything. And this is where your perfectionism is constantly keeping you stuck because you have good intentions. You have the motivation, you're inspired, you know that you want to make a healthy change. You don't feel comfortable in your own skin. You just want to feel glowy and confident and just to shine from the inside out. And you have those really good intentions and you start something, but then you can't follow through with it because your perfectionism gets in the way because that split second that oh, I left I made this super low calorie, healthy meal prep that I was gonna take to work for my lunches, and I left it on the bench at home. Right. I had to make plan B and I had to go to the 7-Eleven and grab something, or I had to stop at McDonald's and pick up a cheeseburger and stuff, and now I failed and I can't do it properly and I may as well just give up. The second that we can't do the thing perfectly, we just give up, and that is where our perfectionism keeps keeping us stuck because we get into this cycle that we just can't get out of. We have the good intentions. We want to make a change. We know we're ready for change. We're ready to do this thing. And then we can't do it perfectly. So, like I said, it might be you left your meal prep lunch on the bench at home, so you couldn't take it to work. It might be that you planned to go to a gym class after work and you can't because your child gets sick, so you can't make it and your husband has to work late. You might decide that you want to get up early and go for a walk with the dog before work, but your alarm goes off. So you're like, oh, well, I couldn't do it perfectly. I couldn't do what I planned. So I must just give up. It's really important that we get out of this perfectionism mindset. And like I mentioned, it's not actually our fault as women because it's what we've been told and sold through the media, through TV, through newspapers, magazines, social media, is that healthy eating, in order for you to be successful, must be perfect. And it really does not. Now, to be honest, like being completely transparent here, I am a type A perfectionist personality, and I've always been like that with regards to everything. If I want to do something and I can't do it perfectly, I'm just not interested. I'm like, I may as well not do that. But definitely since starting and going through this whole process of changing my diet, my lifestyle, losing 10 kilos, and learning to make healthy eating a long term, I have definitely shifted my mindset around my perfectionism. And I have learned over time, it is a skill, it does take time, but you just start to learn that perfectionism and waiting for perfect anything, like I said, the perfect day, the perfect time of the year, that your kids are older, that you have more time, that you have less work on, the time, oh, you've already gone on your holiday. So then you can start your healthy eating afterwards. Ditching that perfectionism and changing your mindset is the key to your success. Okay, let's talk about our second P that is keeping us stuck in this sort of dieting cycle, this on off, start, stop, and we just can't seem to find flow and momentum where it just gets to feel easy and like a normal everyday part of your routine, because at the end of the day that's what everyone wants. We want healthy eating to feel effortless and easy, not like we're constantly thinking about food or what we should be eating or not eating or what we should be exercising or how we should be exercising. We want it to feel easy and effortless and just to not take up so much of our brain space every single day. So, that second P that is keeping you stuck is procrastination. And the perfectionism and the procrastination actually go together. And that's why I wanted to talk about them both in today's episode. So, you are procrastinating because you can't have the perfect meal. You want to eat this for dinner and you don't have time, or you didn't get to the supermarket, so you can't put together that healthy meal that you had in your mind that you wanted to do for dinner. So you procrastinate and you just push your dieting and healthy eating efforts further back because it couldn't be perfect. You also procrastinate because you don't have the confidence to know what to do and where to start with your healthy eating. Like, how many times have you just gone around this loop or this circle in your mind where you say, okay, I really want to eat healthy and I want to get in better shape and I want to be able to wear the clothes that I want to wear and I just want to feel really good in my own skin. And then you start Googling things and you start looking at, okay, I could do keto. So then you start going down the road of looking on social media and someone else's full day of eating that they've made a video reel on, and you start looking at that. And then that confidence that you had when you initially wanted to make a change starts slowly chipping away. And so then that leads to your procrastination. Your lack of confidence is leading to your procrastination about starting because you second guess yourself. You're not sure what you should be doing. Like, that's a big thing that I give the girls when they join the Health Eating Hype Gun membership is I give them a clear plan. We do a diet audit. We look at how much they're eating, what they're eating, where their calories are coming from, where they've been going wrong. And so they have a clear path moving forward. When you're not confident in what you are doing or what you should be doing or what you should be eating or how you should be moving, it leads to your procrastination because you don't feel confident. And so you second guess yourself. And again, like I mentioned, you get stuck in that loop of, well, okay, well, no, the keto is not right. And no, intermittent fasting, that doesn't sound right. And hang on, but she's eating that, or like she's not having carbs after 5 o'clock. And you get in this cycle of lack of confidence, and that's leading to your procrastination. It's very easy to get stuck in these cycles and not know how to get out of them. Are you ready to step into a vibrant community of health conscious women where your journey to helping feel easy begins? Welcome to the Healthy Eating Hype Gal community, your ultimate destination for mastering your relationship with food and embracing a healthy lifestyle. As a busy working mum who's lost 10 kilos, I've been through it all and I understand the struggle. That's why I'm here to teach you the exact steps and tools I use to lose weight, conquer my mindset and thrive, all while juggling the demands of everyday life. Say goodbye to no more confusing fad diets or overwhelming nutrition advice. In this community, I'll guide you through the maze of weight loss and healthy eating and explain it to you in a way that finally makes sense. From easy, family-friendly meal plans to my exclusive calorie deficit quick guide, monthly masterclasses, plus so much more, so you can finally make healthy eating an achievable lifestyle without restriction. It's time to ditch the confusion and overwhelm for good. Join today and kickstart your journey to a healthier, happier you. There's no perfect time to start. Let's make your wellness dreams a reality. The other big one I wanted to talk about when it comes to procrastination is your mindset. You have to start shifting your mindset about what you believe is truly capable for you as a woman. I know often, especially as women, that we get stuck in a box. So we get stuck in a box of it's my job, so that's who I am. Or that when you become a mum, that well, I'm a mum now and that's who I am. And often we get stuck in these boxes and they block our mindset from moving forward because in your mind, you're thinking, oh, and you've probably told yourself this over and over again many times before. I'm not the fit girl. I'm not the healthy girl. I could never be a runner. I could never go to the gym at 5 o'clock. I could never lose the weight. I could never stop eating a block of chocolate after dinner. And all of these repetitive thoughts that we keep telling ourselves over and over in our mind are blocking our mindset. And they, again, leading to that procrastination to making our efforts with healthy eating and weight loss work. So you need to start changing your mindset and start telling yourself those internal thoughts that we have with ourselves really matter. You need to start telling yourself that, you know what? I might not be a gym girl, but I can be a gym girl. I might not be the healthy girl that meal preps, but I can. Another great one that you can actually add to the end of those sentences is yet. It's a fantastic word that can really help shift your mindset. So I'm not the healthy girl yet. I'm not the girl that gets up at 5 a.m. and goes to the gym yet. I'm not the girl that's lost 15 kilos yet. Changing the way that you word those things and literally adding that word yet on the end can make such a difference to your mindset. And like I mentioned earlier in this episode, you can have the perfect day of eating and the perfect meal plan and all of those things. But if you do not deal with this stuff that is going on in your head and the way that you think about food and nutrition and exercise and sugar and all of these things, it is very difficult to move forward because each time you fall off track and each time you don't have the perfect plan, it's going to lead to your procrastination. It's also going to lead to your lack of confidence. It's going to lead to you second guessing yourself. So you really have to be your own inner cheerleader, cheering yourself on and reminding yourself that you can do these things, that you don't need to be perfect, and that your procrastination is just stopping you from moving forward and from getting you the results that you want. Now, something that can really help you in this area is becoming aware of this. It is a skill and it does take time. So it's just the process of almost just for like a split second, just intervening in your brain in those thoughts that you start having. So, for example, let's say it's a Sunday night and you're like, right, I'm going to eat healthy this week. I'm going to work out. I'm going to do all these things. And then you look at your calendar and it's full. You've got so much on at work. The kids have got all this stuff. There's just so much stuff on. And so your brain starts to kick in then and goes, I can't do this week perfectly. So I'll just procrastinate and I'll put it off until next week. It's that split second where you just have to intervene with your brain in those internal thoughts and go, okay, hang on a second. Let's look at this. Right. Here's my calendar for the week. You know what? I'm not going to be able to do something on that day or this day, but you know what I can do? You can drink more water. I can get some more steps in on those days. I think probably that morning I could get up a little bit earlier and I could take the dog for a walk. There are ways around your busy schedule, and it's just starting to shift your mindset around that. Got to do it perfect. So I'm going to keep procrastinating about everything. It's really trying to shift your brain out of it. But like I said, it's just a process. It is a skill and it does take time for you to start becoming aware of those thought patterns that you have on repeat, because it's those thought patterns and those belief systems that are keeping you stuck. Now, like I said, the reason that I wanted to put procrastination and perfectionism into the one episode is because they are linked. They do go together. If you are a perfectionist or a type A personality like me and you like to have everything perfect before you start something, that is what is leading you to procrastinate. Your perfectionism is stopping you from starting because in your mind, you're like, well, if I can't do this perfectly, I'm not starting anything at all. So you keep putting it off, you keep saying, I'll start later. The problem with that is it just messes with your head because you just keep staying in this loop in your brain of this cycle of, I really want to do something and I really feel motivated and I want to start something and I want to eat healthier and I want to look after my body and I want to feel good. Oh, but my calendar's full and I've got all this stuff on, and then I've got my friend's wedding. And so I can't do this healthy eating plan perfectly. So I'll procrastinate and I just won't do it at all. And it just keeps you stuck in this loop that you can just never get out of. And unfortunately, it can go on for years and years. And until you start becoming aware of this loop that you're stuck in, it's very hard to break out of. Sorry. So it's really important to start tuning into those inner thoughts and really try hard to start breaking those mindset patterns around perfectionism because it is stopping you from actually going down that pathway to success and getting the results that you want, and also making healthy eating a lifestyle so it just feels easy and effortless for you. I can definitely relate this one to building my businesses. So I actually have 3 businesses now. I have the Active Bod with my meal plans and my Healthy Eating Hype Girl membership. I have my Real Nourish do-it-yourself meal prep mixes. If you are new around here, they are the busy gal meal prep mixes that I created to save women time in the kitchen so they could just throw something together really quickly. And then I also have the Healthy Her podcast as my business. Now, I can honestly tell you that if I didn't push past this perfectionism and procrastination, I would not be here today where I am, because the same principle applies. Like, it applies to everything in your life. You think of how many times you've put something off, a project, something at work, doing something new, building something, making something, doing a reno or something around the house, renovating your kitchen, anything, and you just keep putting it off because you can't do it perfectly. Being a perfectionist and wanting everything to be perfect keeps us stuck for way longer than we need to. And that's the thing. It's often that we look at other people and we think, wow, he's done this or she's done that. They must hold something special. But they don't. It's just that they pushed that need for everything to be perfect aside and they just decided to take small, messy action and small steps forward in order to reach your goals. And if you wait for perfect, you'll forever be stuck and you just won't start. Okay, so we've talked about the big 2 Ps and the impact that they are having on your healthy eating and your weight loss. So let's talk about, what do we do to stop these 2 Ps from holding us back? So, number 1, I want you to start making doing a little bit of something your new normal. Let's make that your new normal. I posted a story on my social media just the other week about my Sunday, and I posted about how on my Sunday I was going to have a little bit of fun, I was going to do a little bit of self care, and I was going to do a little bit of meal planning and organization. That's what I'm talking about when I say, let's make doing a little bit of something your new normal. Why can't your Sunday be a little bit of everything? It does not have to be perfect. You don't have to get up on a Sunday and spend 10 hours meal planning and meal prepping and doing the perfect workout and having the perfect lunch and all of those kind of things. Why can't it be a little bit of everything? So that is number 1. Make doing a little bit of something be okay and your new normal. So if you're looking at your calendar and you're looking at your day tomorrow, have a look at it and go, right, I'm going to start tomorrow. What's a little bit of something that I can do tomorrow? Not the perfect workout, not the perfect meal plan. What is a little bit of something that I can just do tomorrow that is going to push me forward towards my goals? Is it a walk? Is it drinking water? Is it planning out your healthy dinner? There are so many small, tiny things that you can literally do tomorrow just to start moving you closer towards your goals. Okay, number 2, be prepared to be a beginner. This is a big one. And again, being a perfectionist and a type A personality over here, I'm guilty of this one too. Healthy eating and weight loss and learning to make it a long lasting, maintainable lifestyle is a skill. And we always just want to jump into these things with knowing how to do it perfectly all the time. Again, it comes back to that perfectionist mindset. We want it to all be perfect. And we can't. It's a skill. You have to learn it. So you have to be prepared to go into healthy eating and weight loss not knowing anything and to feeling a bit confused and to feeling like, okay, I don't really understand this. And that's totally normal. And it's really important that you shift your mindset around that and just be okay with being a beginner and being willing to learn in the healthy eating and weight loss space. Okay, number three, forgiveness. We are busy as women and we just need to start being kinder to ourselves. We need to start forgiving ourselves when things don't go to plan. There is no need to beat yourself up and to call yourself a failure and to go down that spiral in your mind that we talked about earlier. And number three, we need to start showing ourselves some forgiveness as women. We're busy, we're time poor, we're juggling all the things. We have so much stuff on our plate and start to forgive yourself for not doing everything perfectly. Like I said, back to that number one, if you're doing a little bit of something and you're trying, then try and forgive yourself if everything is not going perfectly to plan. Okay, number four, we need to start seeing failure as a way to learn, not a reason to quit. Again, this is a big one for me that it took a lot of time. It took a lot of practice. Again, it took me that skill and that learning to realize that every time I fell off track or every time I messed up with my healthy eating or my exercise and things, change the way that you look at that. Don't think I'm a failure, I couldn't do it perfectly. See that failure as a way to learn, okay, what can I learn from my mistake? I ordered a takeaway for dinner because I didn't take out my mince or my chicken from the night before to defrost. I didn't have a healthy lunch for work for the next 3 days because I forgot to do my meal prep. There's usually a reason as to why something didn't work out. So see your failure and see your mistakes as a way to learn something, not to just quit and go back to that. Oh, it can't be perfect. So I'm going to procrastinate and I'm not going to do anything at all. Okay, number five, keep taking small steps forward towards your goal. Something that really helped me here was journaling. I'm thinking I might do a whole episode on journaling because I do know I get a lot of questions about it. When I first started journaling, I thought it was such a woo thing. And I'm like, why would I want to write my thoughts in a book? But when it comes to reaching your goals, journaling can significantly help you to get there. So, to help keep taking small steps towards your goal, something super easy that you can literally start with today is write down 3 intentions for your month. So, in your journal, in your book, in your notepad, whatever you want to write it down in, write down 3 intentions for yourself for the month. I don't mean goals. So, I don't want you to write something like lose 5 kilos or drop 3 dress sizes or something like that. I want you to write 3 easy things that you intend to do for the next month. So that might be drink a liter of water every day. It might be hit 8,000 steps 4 days a week, things that are actually achievable. And then at the end of the month, I want you to go back and I want you to have a look in your journal and I want you to see if you've done those things. I'm telling you, when you write stuff down, you significantly increase your chances of achieving the thing. And just writing an intention feels a lot easier than a hefty goal like 10 kilos or lose 3 dress sizes. Drinking water or hitting a step count or something like that is something that just feels easy and it just feels a little bit more manageable. So, number five, keep taking those small steps forward. And this is, to be honest, something that's not talked about enough. The things that move you forward, the things that get you closer to your goals is the small stuff. It's the boring stuff. It's the unsexy stuff. And that's why you don't see it all over the media and in social media and things like that. It's the small, boring stuff. It's the writing out what you're going to have for dinner and planning out your meals. It's the supermarket and the grocery shop and filling your pantry with nourishing, healthy foods. It's setting your alarm so you can go to bed a bit earlier so you can get up for your gym session. It's the boring stuff that really moves that needle forward. It is a process, it is a skill, but if you can start to really shift your mindset from, I need to do it perfectly in order to be successful, to, I just need to do something, you're going to be miles ahead of those people that are still sitting on the couch and waiting for perfect to come along in order to do something. After you listen to this episode, grab your journal, grab your piece of paper, write down 3 intentions or 3 things that you just intend to do this week and make those things happen. Make those your goal for this week, for the next couple of weeks. Set that goal for yourself for the next month. It is those small things that move the needle forward. And like I said, it is boring, it is unsexy, but it's the small things that make the biggest difference. I really hope that you have got some big aha moments from today's episode, because perfectionism and procrastination is what is keeping us stuck. It is what is keeping us stuck in this dieting, failure, binging, like just that cycle that we just can't seem to get ourselves out of. So I really want you to go in to your rest of your day after you listen to this and think, right, what is something little I can do today, and be okay with that. Be okay with it not being perfect. Because if you can keep doing that, keep changing your mindset and keep showing up, I can 100% promise you, you will get to your end goal and you are going to look and feel amazing. Perfectionism and procrastination, they're just nasty things that just keep us stuck. So it's really important to work on your mindset around food and to start getting yourself unstuck so you can just start rocketing forward to that person and that place that you truly want to be. As always, if you love this episode, I would be super grateful if you could leave a 5-star review or screenshot and share this episode. I'm so passionate about this stuff, and I really want to help you take on a different mindset around food, because like I said earlier in this episode, this is stuff that's just not talked about enough. And I feel like as women, we need to have more of these conversations, more of talking about the fact that perfectionism does keep us stuck. That's something that no one told me. And it wasn't until I had that mindset change and that realization myself that I could actually start making progress towards my goals and achieving new things that I wanted to do. Like I said, I hope you found this episode helpful, and I cannot wait to see you and chat with you in our next episode of the Healthy Her podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in to another empowering episode of the Healthy Her podcast. If you enjoyed today's chat and found it helpful, hitting that follow or subscribe button would be amazing, because your support means the world to me. Come connect with me on Instagram @theactivebod for your daily dose of inspiration and for loads of new easy meal ideas. Take care and keep thriving. See you next week.